Hi guys, and welcome back to the hot seat. Thank you guys for all my viewers who are still here watching. We do have one more guest today, and she's no less amazing than the two other guests prior. Another person who contributes to film in her own amazing, amazing way. So she is known, she's not just known as one thing, she's a writer, she's a director, she does all of these things, she's a creator, she's just an artistic in so many different ways, and I can't wait to have her here. I've been hoping that I would get to meet her, and I finally get to do today. So everyone, please welcome the amazing Deborah Richards. Thank you so much. I know I'm so much shorter than you. I'm so jealous. But please take a seat. Oh my God. So it's an honor to have you sitting here in the hot seat.
Thank you so much.
It's not your first time here, but it's your first time here on the hot seat. So it's amazing. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Now you guys know, like, she has done so many different things, from Move Me No Mountain to Shaken and Stirred. You know, I want to dig into a lot. Yeah, honey, I was my homework. I said, like, I have a theater background, like, we do the homework, honey. But no, but the good thing is about you is that you love to genre skip. Like, you don't like to stay in one thing, which not a lot of people do.
Right.
They like stay in their niche.
Yeah.
And that's not kind of what
that's not
you
me.
do. That's
no,
not you.
I think I've done, like, well, I'm in development of my third feature film, my second in post, and my first one's out in Tubi and Amazon. We can talk about that.
Indie, right?
Yeah, and I love
like
all
that.
cinema.
Right. You want to experience everything you possibly can.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people are just like, no, it's only horror. No, it's only documentary, which is fine. You know, people are great and respectful what they do, but you very rarely though see someone that's like, hey, I'm open for anything, because you know that you learn with everything that you do, and it just makes you amazing. So you not only have this wide history of traveling so many different places, but you have also won Emmys for a lot of your past work.
Well, it was one thing in particular. In 2015, I won 4 Emmys for a short I did in film school.
Amazing.
And I won,
in film school, too, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I won Best Director, Best Short, Best Editing, and Best Screenplay.
Wow.
So that was great.
All hitting all the marks.
All the marks.
Yeah, back in production. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Obviously, you're doing everything you want to do because that's what you want to do, and you're like, yes. Oh, right?
Yeah.
And so I heard you say this quote, and which I love, and it's basically that sometimes you write a story 3 times. You tell a story 3 times, something along those lines. You know, when you're writing, when you're directing, and then you also when you're editing.
I think it's even more than that. I think it's like when you're writing, when you're finishing it, when you're
watching it all in one time, which I feel like is something that you can draw from, inspiration from. Is that correct?
Yeah. While we were getting people amped and excited about the movie, I was kind of doing like interviews like this and stuff, and we interviewed all kinds of people, like John Bandy, who taught Tom Cruise for Cocktail, and we interviewed Kristen Delpech, she's like the Tiger Woods of the sport. And this is my 3rd or 4th collaboration with my work husband, Patrick Wirtz, Emmy-nominated director in his own right.
Right.
And we're in post-production now of that, and the trailer comes out next week.
That's amazing. I've seen the poster. It already looks so well done.
Cool.
And documentaries are hard and respectful in their own right to gather all this information, these viewpoints, and telling a story based on people's real life, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to perceive that on camera and make sure that you do them justice when you do post.
Well, it's also it's so much more of a marathon when you're making a documentary, because like with a narrative feature, it's like a sprint. You shoot for 21 days or 14 days or whatever it is. But this we were shooting for a year. So it required.
But I'm sure you learn a lot. I feel like it's so enlightening
I'm always
to meet
learning.
people. Yeah, that's so fantastic, and I'm sure you can take that when creating other art in the future. So Move Me No Mountain, this is something very passionate. I've been seeing this. We've had it a lot in between my show and things like that, and I looked into it a lot, and it's really based on the character experience tragedy, and then they move to Vegas, entering a completely different life, and then the trials and tribulations of that. Where did you kind of get the storyline, and where did it inspired from?
It's funny because that was my first feature film, even though I directed about 100 commercials before that. So it's really ambitious, but because at the core of the story it deals with homelessness in modern urban America, we wanted to treat that subject with dignity and authenticity. So we actually teamed up with Las Vegas Rescue Mission and Shine a Light Foundation. to live in Vegas and not be cognizant of the dichotomy between the excessive wealth and the excessive poverty. There's like, some people in Vegas don't even know that there's 800 miles of tunnels in the city of storm drain tunnels. And so when you're walking on the strip in front of those multi-billion-dollar casinos, there's literally people 6 feet below you living. And that blows my mind. It just blows my mind. So, so I wanted to make a movie that wasn't just two people in a room. And I wanted to do something that we could be proud of, that strives to be cinema, as opposed to just another movie. And that has a social conscience and maybe educates people about the realities of being unsheltered in, you know, modern urban America. And I think also a big misconception about that community is that they're all drunks or addicts, right? And they all kind of get tarnished with that brush. And the truth of the matter is that people become homeless for so many different reasons. Like there's people in California that lose their home overnight in a forest fire, in a wildfire. And next thing they're sleeping on a friend's couch, and then they're in their car, and then they lose their job because they're sleeping in a car, and then they're on the street, and then they're... So there's so many different avenues to get to those low places. And I'm really proud of the movie and the scrappy little team that we had that brought all these stories to life and shined a light on the realities.
Yeah, I love that, because what I love about you is that you take film seriously in a way where you're not just trying to create a movie, but what's the purpose? What am I saying? How am I moving? Pinpoint on that. How am I moving the audience to kind of feel something with film? What am I saying that's contributing to the world of entertainment when everyone's making movies day in, day out, everyone's doing something, but what sets me apart, right?
Well, I think film, cinema in general, okay, it's like a giant mirror that's held up, and it's a mirror showing us ourselves of what humanity is and what it's like and how we see ourselves as we move through time. And so I think we have a responsibility as filmmakers to choose what we want to show really carefully, and you know, anyone can grab a camera and go out and shoot.
I want to know who they are, but like when you ask someone when they do their art, why do you want to be a director? Why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to do this third? How they answer that question can kind of describe their purpose and their motive into what they're doing. So if I were to ask you, like, why you want to be a director?
So I think, okay, so I'm an artist, first and foremost, and I'm like a supernova of artistic ability. I don't know why, I can't help it. I can make art out of anything. It's like John Lennon. You don't need a why, right? It's just you. Well, John Lennon once said, you know, give me a tune of that, meaning like, you give me a musical instrument, even if I can't play it, I'll come up with something cool. You give me a piece of Play-Doh, I'll sculpt something interesting. I'm just creative, right? And I feel that filmmaking is... well, first of all, it's the most collaborative art form, and collaboration. I wouldn't want to do this in a vacuum. Where would be the joy in that, right? There's a song in a line by The Cure. I think it was 1982, "Love Cats" by The Cure. There's a line in there that goes, "Hand in hand is the only way to land," and I love that. Like a sunset shared is more meaningful to me. So I love the collaborative aspect of filmmaking. And then the real key ingredient is that it's just impossible. It's impossible to make an amazing movie. There are so many things that have to happen. There's so much that has to happen that it's technically on paper. Someone once said making a great movie is the equivalent of getting a bow and arrow and trying to hit a target from 10 miles in the wind and rain. It's just that difficult, and that really appeals to me. Like, like I often tell people, if you said to me, "Hey, I want to go to the moon," I can help you. I just need time and money. And then I can make it work. I can figure it out. If you give me enough time and enough money, I'll get you there. So, so I don't feel like anything is out of reach. And when someone says film is impossible, or no, or are you crazy, then I just think, wow, this sounds like something I want to do and figure out and solve it. And so it just really appeals to my problem-solving nature.
I love that.
And my, you know the word I hate the most in the English language? No. Because anytime anyone ever says pure lack of imagination. So, and quite honestly, it kind of revolts me. I'm like, you didn't think, you didn't imagine, go away, come back. No, it's not the answer.
Yeah,
It's not the
it should
answer.
be, okay, how?
Yeah,
How do you do this?
how? Let's talk
Yes.
about it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about
that's
it.
what we do.
Yeah,
And like I said, nothing's impossible. Even getting to the moon. If we have enough
Yeah.
time and money, we can do it.
and maybe.
So yeah, I love the collaborative aspect. I'm a creative supernova, and I just love the impossibility of it, the challenge.
Yeah, the challenge.
Yeah, and so
then,
nothing else has that magical combination that appeals to me.
Yeah, and to create something where that looks effortless in the end, that people enjoy, that they sit there and they're just like, oh my god, it's amazing. But what goes behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize. You need hard work, you need dedication, you need passion.
Yeah.
And so having that and knowing as a person doing it that you can have something that you achieved going through all those things and you made that happen, right? It's something to be very proud of. So
Well, it
you should
makes
be
me
very proud
laugh.
of yourself.
Thank you. It makes me laugh when people say, if you want something really bad, just manifest it and it'll happen. It's like, no, you have to manifest it, but then you got to do
And
the
you have to
work.
do the work.
You gotta
It goes
do the
hand in
work.
hand. You can believe that what you're doing is going to end up with that
Yeah.
if you're on the prize, but you still have to, day by day, you're doing it.
1,000%.
Exactly.
1,000%. I'm okay. I feel like I'm at the starting line of my career, and I'm in development of my third feature film with 100 TV commercials and 4 Emmys, and Nevada Woman Filmmaker of the Year last year, and all these things, right? In 15 years, all these things, I feel like I'm just at the start.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 15 years to get to the start.
Yeah, well, that's great. And one thing I know I tell people, and I think you would agree with me, is that this job is amazing because you'll never be bored. Every single job, every single gig is something new.
Yeah, you know what's
Yeah.
funny is about 15 years ago, I made a list of the 10 most exciting jobs in the world, or a Googled list, and on there was like pilot. And I was like, well, you're flying back and forth. It's the same thing all the time. I mean, you see different places, but it's the same thing every day. And then I was like, what's next? And it was like CEO. And it's like, well, it seems like that's, I don't know. But then I got to filmmaker or the film director specifically. And I was like, a film goes through so many different cycles or stages of its life. You've got development when you're writing it, and that could be 6 weeks, 10 years, whatever. Then you've got pre-production when you're putting it all together. Then you've got the actual shooting of it, which is only like a couple weeks. And then you've got post-production, which goes on forever. And then you got the marketing of it. So it's constantly changing. And I love the development phase because recently I was involved writing a short about lighthouses, and I had to learn about lighthouses. And I was like, how does a lighthouse work? How does it turn? How is it built? What's the history of it? So I feel I'm constantly having to learn, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, it's completely varied all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's really exciting. Like today's a typical day, which is, there's no such thing as a typical day, but today, before this interview, we had lunch with a new executive producer, and then before that, we had to do some headshots for Rotten Tomatoes. And then before that, really early this morning, I was doing some editing. So it's constantly.
And you gotta switch gears and be very open to those things and learning. And now you're sitting here with me, and we met, and you're just like, oh, this is exciting, this is new.
The funny thing about switching gears is in the past I always really used to enjoy monotasking. It was like, if today's an edit day, I'm just going to edit. If today's a filming day, I'm just going to... But now, with us getting more and more projects and busier, I don't have that luxury anymore. I get to
But it's great when you do, because you're like, dang, I'm pretty good.
I sleep well.
Which is more than I can say, which is amazing. Get sleep and then be able to be in film and entertainment you're amazing. You should have planned it, obviously. You are like this. It's great. But one more question before we do go, and I love conversing with you. I can converse all day with you. You're so interesting. Is what would your philosophy in life be?
Well, I'm a filmmaker, not a philosopher, so I don't have an overall arching philosophy. But I think, it's nice to be important, but it's just more important to be nice. I think, kindness is the key. Love is the answer. Kindness is key. And all the rest is just... here you go. I'll give you this. Don't focus on the destination. There is no destination. The journey is the destination.
Yeah, I love that.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, I love asking a question to all the guests because it sums up who they are as people and whatever philosophy that they live. A lot of people don't think they have one until they're asked that question and they're like, oh my god. And every time they answer that, it really, after your whole interview and people have met you, are like, oh my god, that's her. and it's authentic to that person, and how they answer that question and how they live their life really can inspire people in different ways, and that's absolutely amazing. I know you've inspired me just sitting here, and to me, a person in this industry that can think kind of the crazy way I think too. And she's like, oh my God, you get it, right? Like, how can you explain this to someone that's not in it, right? The things we do, how we work to go out of our way to make an amazing thing that people, you know, they see as entertainment. For us, this is a passion. It's art. It's life. It's everything that we strive to be and contribute.
And I think those people who pursue it as a passion and as an art will be more successful than people that pursue it for clout.
That part, yes. I love that. And you can tell the difference, for sure.
100%.
And I love that. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I would love to have you on again when you're having all these feature films out. And hopefully one day we'll connect and we'll work together in a different space.
That'd be amazing. Go watch Queen of Mountain on TV. And come join us at the Michaud Film Festival in LA next month.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And where can people find you on social media before we go? If they ever want to get in contact?
Just Google me, Deborah Richards, and
everything will pop up.
Everything will be there.
She does. I did it. And it's true. That's true. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor or pleasure. Thank you. Everyone, Deborah Richards, queen of all film and all things. So please keep an eye out for her. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere, because I'll say our goodbyes right after this break.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get back, dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a ball and a leash now, wouldn't he?